Have you ever stared at the ceiling at 2 in the morning? The silence of your room deafening, and felt a sudden, terrifying realization that your life is slipping through your fingers? You look at the calendar. Another month, another year has evaporated, and you are exactly where you were. You have the same complaints, the same empty bank account, the same unfulfilling routines, and the exact same broken promises to yourself. Why do you keep lying to yourself, promising that tomorrow will be different, when your today is a perfect carbon copy of your yesterday? Let me be brutally honest with you. Nobody is coming to save you. There is no magical rescue boat on the horizon. If you do not wake up right now, you are going to blink, and you will be 80 years old, sitting in a rocking chair, drowning in the most toxic emotion known to the human mind: regret. The regret of the things you did not do, the risks you did not take, and the person you were too afraid to become. You complain about your circumstances, but you haven't taken a single painful step to change them. You complain that nobody gives you an opportunity, yet you spend your evenings binge-watching other people living their dreams on a screen instead of building your own. You have become a passive spectator in the arena of your own life. If that harsh truth makes your chest tighten and your stomach drop, good, it means you are finally awake. Before we dive into the psychology of why you are stuck and how to tear down these walls, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. By doing so, you are not just supporting these videos, you are making a physical declaration that you are ready to change. You are joining a community of individuals who refuse to sleepwalk through existence and are committed to taking control of their destiny. As a behavioral psychologist, I see this tragic pattern every single day. People are not stuck because they lack potential, intelligence, or opportunity. They are stuck because they have built a prison for themselves, locked the door from the inside, and swallowed the key. We call this the invisible cage. Deeply rooted in a concept known as learned helplessness, it is a psychological condition where, after facing repeated failures, rejections, or setbacks, you simply stop trying. Your brain falsely convinces you that your actions no longer matter and that the pain is permanent. You become like a massive circus elephant tied to a small wooden peg. When the elephant was a baby, that peg was strong enough to hold it, but as a fully grown adult, it could easily rip the peg out of the ground with a single step. Yet, it doesn't even try. Why? Because the chains are no longer on its leg, the chains are in its mind. You are that elephant. You have let past failures, the opinions of small-minded people, and your own insecurities convince you that you cannot break free. You have normalized your own misery because it feels familiar, and human beings will almost always choose a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven. Alongside learned helplessness, you are suffering from a chronic case of a fixed mindset. You falsely believe that your talents, your intelligence, and your current circumstances are carved in stone. You look at successful, happy people and think, they got lucky, or, they were born with it. That is a toxic lie you feed your ego to justify your own inaction. The truth is, your brain is incredibly neuroplastic. It is biologically designed to change, to adapt, and to grow stronger through resistance. But you have sheltered your brain from discomfort for so long that it has forgotten how to fight. To make matters worse, you self-medicate with the most dangerous word in the English language: someday. Someday I will start that business. Someday I will get in shape. Someday I will read that book. Someday I will finally be happy. In psychology, we refer to this as temporal discounting. It is a cognitive flaw where we value immediate, short-term comfort over massive, long-term rewards. We choose the cheap dopamine hit of scrolling through social media for 3 hours over the difficult, unglamorous task of building a future. Someday is not a day of the week. It is a psychological defense mechanism. It is the anesthetic that numbs the pain of your unfulfilled potential. But the clock is ticking, and the universe does not care about your excuses. Welcome to the turning point. The very fact that you are still here, listening to these words, proves that the fire inside of you has not burned out completely. There is a spark left, A quiet rebellion in your soul that refuses to accept mediocrity as your final destination. We have diagnosed the disease, the invisible cage, the learned helplessness, the toxic comfort of someday. Now, let us administer the cure. As a behavioral psychologist, I can tell you that the most magnificent feature of the human brain is its capacity for resurrection. Science calls it neuroplasticity. I call it the ultimate second chance. Every single time you make a choice that aligns with your future self rather than your past traumas, you physically wire new neural pathways in your brain. You are literally building a new version of yourself, one decision at a time. But to activate this superpower, you must stop trying to change your behavior and start changing your identity. Right now, you see yourself as a procrastinator, a failure, or someone who is permanently stuck. You act in accordance with who you believe you are. If you want to wake up before it is too late, you must kill that old identity. You are not the mistakes you made yesterday. You are not the opportunities you missed last year. You are the architect of the exact moment standing in front of you right now. How do you bridge the terrifying gap between who you are and who you want to be? You do not do it by taking massive, overwhelming leaps that trigger your brain's fight or flight response. You do it through the ruthless execution of micro-commitments. We are going to hijack your brain's reward system. Starting today, you are going to pick one tiny, almost ridiculously small habit. It could be reading 5 pages of a book, doing 10 push-ups, or working on your goals for exactly 15 minutes. When you complete that tiny task, your brain releases dopamine. It is not the cheap, hollow dopamine you get from scrolling your phone. It is the deep, fulfilling neurochemical reward of earned progress. This is the compound effect in action. One small victory leads to another, and another, until the momentum becomes unstoppable. You transition from a state of passive anxiety to active execution. The invisible cage begins to rust. The bars begin to bend. And suddenly, you realize you have had the strength to break out this entire time. Do not wait for motivation. Motivation is a myth sold to the weak. Motivation is a fleeting emotion that abandons you the second things get difficult. What you need is discipline. Discipline is the brutal, beautiful realization that your future is too important to be left to the mercy of your current mood. You do the work when you are tired. You do the work when you are scared. You do the work when nobody is watching, because you are no longer negotiating with your inner weakness. Imagine a year from today. You open your eyes in the morning, but the heavy, suffocating weight of regret is gone. You look in the mirror and you respect the person staring back at you. You have built a life of purpose, stability, and emotional resilience. You are no longer watching other people live their dreams. You are standing in the center of your own arena. Victorious. That life is not a fantasy. It is a mathematical certainty if you are willing to pay the price of admission today. This is your wake-up call. The alarm is ringing, and the universe is demanding an answer. Are you going to hit snooze and drift back into the nightmare of unfulfilled potential? Or are you going to throw off the covers, plant your feet firmly on the ground, and declare war on your excuses? If you are truly ready to change your life, I want you to do something right now. Do not just close this video and go back to your old routines. Leave a comment below saying, "I am awake." Make it a public contract with yourself. Then, turn off this screen, look at the one task you have been avoiding, and attack it. The clock is ticking. Your future self is begging you to start. Wake up, before it is too late.